back in 2023, I did a joined notes/comments video on a movie and a book that covered this joined subject matter. And that was in 2023, and it's now, I'm filming this Wednesday, yes, now, 15 May 2024, so it's it's not quite the same year even. And so I was, oh, could I do that again? Could I do that for, last time I did it for nonfiction, how about fiction? So I'm doing, and I'll link to my book notes playlist, book/reading notes playlist in my movie notes playlist. And so that video is in both because it contains both. So we're doing something similar here. So I'm doing the 1992 book Sahara by Clive Cussler, and it's 2005 film adaptation. Yeah. Okay. So that's the intro. Who am I? I'm Tanis Coralee Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Seattle. And now I can do copies information as I break down each. So that's the introduction. So then we'll start chronologically by which came out first. So this came out 1992. It was my Grandpa Roger's copy. And I might have borrowed it before he died, and I read it, and then I took it back up to in my grandma's house. And then once he passed away, I got the copy. But I read it while he was still alive, if that makes sense. And so this is a 1992 copy. It doesn't say first edition, which I think usually means it is first edition, right? Or a person could put first edition in there, but if it doesn't. It's over 500 pages. Let's see, it is 541 pages. And the pages are like, it takes up the page. Like, it's smaller font. It's 1 point spacing. It's a hardy book to read, and it's about kind of, relevant information, I guess, about the copy. So my Grandpa Roger was a fighter pilot in the United States of American Navy, and this Clive Cussler and Dirk Pitt, so this is a Dirk Pitt novel, but not branded as a Dirk Pitt novel, which I appreciated. It's about Numa. And Numa is what? Organization that's for, it's like people who've been in the United States Navy and have maritime experience that they can put their use once they're out of the military to use in the civilian world without being like, you know, a hassle, but still using their nautical experience. So a lot of the books are centered around like ships or boats. And so they're on the hunt for this warship that might have ended up in Africa, which is kind of crazy because it set sail on the east coast of the United States of America in like the 1800s. And it was not meant for open water and stuff like that. And so this book gets into kind of more of the nautical and the medical side of things, which I thought was cool. My bachelor degree is a Bachelor of Science in Geology and Geophysics, and with a minor in mathematics, and so I've been drawn to kind of more technical. In his books, Clive Cussler, he does a good job of that. And we had a boat growing up, so this was kind of like, you know, and my Grandpa Roger was in the United States American Navy, and my uncle in the Marines, and my granddad in a sniper in the United States American Army and stuff. So this was kind of like a, you know, like really me kind of thing. And so in my tastes, kind of thing. That's where the science and the geology and like, it gets into geology and like underground rivers and stuff in the book that it doesn't actually in the movie, because the movie is a movie. But yeah, and it's about, it's kind of cool because we did in school, we like tracing water pollution and stuff for a science lab one time, and this whole book is kind of like that, right? It's about tracing water pollution. Where is this pollution coming from? It's causing a disease. We need to stop the spread of the disease, and to stop the spread of the disease, we need to stop the spread of the pollution in the water. But to do that, we need to understand where the water is flowing from and where the contaminants are coming from. And so that was pretty cool, but then I also got into the boat stuff, so which is also cool. So I really enjoy this. This is one of my favorite books, but I've already said that a different Clive Cussler book is my favorite book. I've shown that one on this channel previously. I don't think I've done a notes video for that, but yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed. And so yes, and so this is now my copy, but it was started off as MacArthur Rogers. Yeah, okay, and those are my reading slash book notes. I thoroughly enjoy this style. A lot of people don't, and it doesn't have the like. A lot of books I'm reading these days have like spaces. Like there will be a chapter and there will be a pretty emblem or a space as like a mic drop or just like pause here. And this doesn't do that. It's like, just read the chapter. And I like that. It's a no-nonsense book. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. Okay, so that's the book. The movie. It is worth noting this is a 2005 film adaptation of the book. Right, the book is 1992, so it took 13 years for this to come out. 13 years. And so I kind of wondered what this movie was like. And like, once it came out, so it's same plot line, but different kind of lens, I would say, than the book. Yes. And so I thoroughly enjoy both, and both make it into like my favorites categories for movies and books. It's not the same focus as the book, however. So like I would say it's a good Sahara the movie is like a standalone. It is like the book, but it's not necessarily the same focus. Like there's a lot more action focus, whereas this kind of gets into technical and more into the geology and stuff. Yeah, but I now know Matthew McConaughey went and looked at big dirt pits, so was he inspired by the geology of Africa? You know, kind of thing. Which I interpret as him getting this role. I thought the movie especially was perhaps one of those, so I was born approximately in 1993, and I saw this like about when it came out or when it came out. And so I was pretty young, and I thought it was a perfect wake up to this guy who plays Al Giordino. So there's Dirk Pitt and Al Giordino. I think a lot of people wanted to be Dirk Pitt, and I remember just watching the movie and being like, this is a great wake up to I am not Al Giordino. Is it like in this movie I would want to be Al Giordino, but I'm actually the Dirk Pitt type. And I think that's like one of those weird things about me is whereas like a lot of people who want to be Dirk Pitt are not Dirk Pitt type. Right? And so I was like watching it and I just remember being like, I'm the Dirk Pitt type who's like, but I want to be Al Giordino, right? So it was a weird wake-up movie for me, in that sense of like, no, I'm not that funny in social situations. I'm definitely between those two. I'm definitely a Dirk Pitt, but like that doesn't mean I wouldn't want to be Al Giordino. And Hubert Coase is like, no, I'm Al Giordino, babe, hun, friend, you know. Okay, so I've done a notes video on this in the past, not too long ago. I've watched it a lot. And this is a copy I bought for my collection, and it is now migrated to the family DVD collection. So like if I moved out, this might stay with mom and dad because they like this movie so much too. This is a family fave. Would the movie make my autobiography and or the book? Actually, yeah, because of the nature. This is like a perfect pairing, and I could even like invoke the Matthew McConaughey autobiography Green Lights if I wanted to, like if the trifecta of the fiction book, the fiction movie, and then the autobiography of the actor who played Dirk Pitt in the movie. Kind of thing. Or I could talk to Matthew McConaughey. There we go. Yeah. So. Anything else about the movie? So that would be one, right? I've brought up 4 songs that I might include. This is like a pairing that has like, it's not only has it come up in book form in my life, it's come up in movie form, and then it's come up in autobiography form and something like that. So is the person going to enter my life? The Matthew McConaughey? The Matthew McConaughey. How many Matthew McConaughey's are there? Okay, so yeah. So in conclusion, it's my joined book slash movie notes, just general notes, I guess, on the 1992 book Sahara by Clive Cussler and its 2005 film adaptation.